Well, hey everyone, my name's Chris and this is Tilly, and welcome to the Coffee Fuel Woodsman channel. Hi Pupper. It's been a while. It's been since November that I was out, and the dog and I both were a little restless. So it's March 9th today. It's about -2 degrees, and the temperature's supposed to go up to around 3 or 4 today, and then drop to around -3 again tonight. If you follow me on Instagram, you may know that we just picked up a MSR Elixir 3 tent for colder weather camping when I'm going solo, and I don't want to have to worry about this little one in her own tent. The pack today is weighing in at 52 pounds. You'll see that I've got a lot of kind of luxury stuff. It is winter camping as well, so there's a lot of more warm weather gear, and like that bedroll I brought for her. I brought an axe. Brought a lot of stuff that I didn't need to bring maybe, but I don't care. This is about enjoying our time in the woods, which is what we're doing. Okay, well, it's time to put the crampons on because it is icy on the main road, and get going, find ourselves a campsite. Solid ice here. Yeah, lots of places to set up the tent, but way too many visitors, I fear. But yeah, with this much travel, there's no way I'm staying here. We're gonna continue on up. There's another Deadwater-y type area, which I'm hoping will be very similar to that, where we get a little bit of a view, but it looks like it's a little further off the road. Well, I really should have put these crampons on about, I don't know, 59 minutes ago. I'm coming across the first, what's called the first Deadwater here now. So I'll get you out of the sun. Another four-wheeler trail down to it. Not really seeing anywhere I want to set up. I wish I could get to the other side of the road. Actually, you see there is a four-wheeler trail that continues on the other side, but I'm not crossing that. I don't want to get my feet soaked and be cold the rest of the day. Well, we finally got off the beaten path, and we're on kind of like a four-wheeler trail. I'm hoping that it will skirt the entire water system, because the main trail, which I was getting tired of walking on, goes way up and around and doubles back. And I've been on some of it on the opposite side, kind of where we were intending on going for our campsite. But I left the house not planning on going to the usual campsite. Tilly and I have decided we want to try something new. So, I mean, this might be a good spot to start looking. Because look at this. Nothing wrong with that. It's a great view. Well, that four-wheeler trail ended up dead ending right at like not a lean-to, but they had obviously a drinking spot where they come and camp out. I just went off-road. This is into the woods here. We just paralleled the water, and honestly right here might be it, because there's a flat spot there. It's out kind of near the water. I wanted to be by rushing water, but it's looking like that's not going to happen. So I think we're only going to be here one night, and I was just walking through the woods here and saw this spot, but then I don't know if you can see this massive boulder in behind here. Go get it, pup. Get an idea how big it is. Tilly's right at the base of it. So the part of the lake that we're on, the other thing I like, I don't see any foot tracks. There's no path down here. Like say a lake, it's a Deadwater. So we're running south to north. That way is going to be north, and then down that way is going to be south. And based on where we're at, we're going to probably be sheltered from the wind no matter how we set up. And it looks like I can just come out and get my water. I can. And the wind's really coming from down there. The windscreen fell off the microphone, so I'll try to keep it from doing too much noise here. And that goes up to a Deadwater. So my friend Dave and I camped right at the very end, up there. I brought a brie and chorizo sandwich, Dijon, mayonnaise, and then some pickles as well. Tilly approves. Okay, so we've gone 4 kilometers in about an hour and 20 minutes from the car. It was mostly kind of a big road you could drive your car on, not our car. I think you'd want studded tires. It's mostly ice, probably something with some clearance, but it was decent. The last little bit was all 4-wheeler trail, and then we abandoned the trail and just walked through the woods to here. And this is a really nice spot. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not sure if we should have went to Crowbar Lake instead. Do that white balance, yeah. Just because it was more of a proper hiking trail. However, you're technically not supposed to camp hi, I see you there. You're not supposed to camp in Crowbar Lake Trail, so I don't think anybody would care. Maybe next time. It seems like a good pitch that I've got going here. I'm not really sure. Inside, it's going to be different for me sleeping on what the ground has to offer as opposed to, you know, just the hammock doing everything for me. Do you want to lie down? Just wait. So right now I'm going to get out my sleep system, which is my hammock gear, incubator, or sorry, not incubator, hammock gear burrow, Econ 20-degree top quilt, and this is the Insulated Climate Static V sleeping mat. This is what my buddy Johnny gave me. This is why Tilly's over here right now. She knows what goes on. She gets in that tent. So since I'm not really a tent camper yet, I've got to decide what mat I'm going to get. I did a lot of research. Just leave it. Just leave it. I did a lot of research. And the Nemo Tensor seems to be what I'm favoring for me. I was looking at maybe a double climate sleeping pad. Johnny's kind of cautioned me against that. He thinks that I'd be better suited to a single. And when Claire comes, just borrow one of his. He knows more about it than I do. That's for sure. So. As you can see, I don't have the airbag for it, or air pump. Bring you in with me. This camera isn't the best for wide angle, but yeah, what do you think, pup? Okay, you going out? Go on out. Go on. That's me. And I guess the camera is right where I will be this evening. And there's the door. I think I'm gonna have to sleep a little bit sideways. It's definitely gonna take some getting used to, having to adapt to what's on the floor. But first, I think it's coffee time. Yeah, I think I'm finally satisfied with how the camp's set up. If you can tell, I've put a tarp above us because we are supposed to get 1 to 3 centimeters of snow tonight. I'm kind of hoping for a little bit of snow. Be nice, eh? Get a little bit of snow. Do you want the snow? Okay, I've got one corner dropped down a little bit just to maybe block a little bit of the wind. It's only really covering half of the tent itself. So this is a wool sweater that my wife knit me. I forget the pattern. I've put it on Instagram and tagged the person who designed the pattern. But it's Briggs & Little fairly robust wool, so it's made quite durably, and she knitted a gauge down on the needles, which makes it a tighter weave, which makes it a little bit more windproof. Tonight I brought a little bit extra weight. That's why I weighed my pack. It was 51 pounds. Then I added a couple of last minute things. This was one of them. Sober, oh, I'll get out of the way. There we go. Sober Island Oyster Stout. I think I'll have that in a little bit. Right now I think I'm gonna put coffee on though. I was gonna have bourbon, but I think I'll do the coffee first because it is almost 2 o'clock. So actually we're doing good. I usually like getting to camp and being set up by 2. So we're set up well before 2 and actually starting to settle in. Well, while my coffee is brewing up right there, kind of had a rough couple of minutes there after I stopped filming the last time. Tilly's decided she wants a stick worse than anything else. And she's being a bit of a devil about it, which, you know, isn't that bad, except for I threw it from where I was sitting underneath that tarp. So here's my setup. That's how I've done it. So I have my little sitting area so I can actually see out. It's kind of, you see how this corner's dropped? It's kind of blocking the wind a bit, but not amazing. And then the tent's underneath. So it actually is working really well. But like a dummy, I was being lazy. I didn't want to get up for the dog. And look what I did to the tarp. A real good hole in it. So I threw the stick, it brushed against the tarp and sliced that. So that's very unfortunate. I've had this tarp for quite a while. This is my first tarp. It's a Hennessy Hex Fly. And the reason I brought it this trip, it's bigger and heavier than my hammock gear Journey. But when I got the Journey has doors on it for hammocks. So I knew that I was going to use it kind of just to give myself a sitting area in case the weather wasn't great and to protect the tent a bit. So I didn't want, 8 or 10 tie-outs, whatever the Journey tarp has. I only wanted, you know, to have to stake out 4 corners and then the ridge line. All right, there. The pot is boiling. Well, Tilly and I are going to go cut some wood. We went for just a little short hike, and there's a lot of dead standing maple in this area. But we took a big walk around this guy. The size of this thing. And it's impressive from all 4 sides. So I'll show you. And it actually, I could stand down in another 3 feet lower too. Bit of a rock garden back here. Now this is all fir and that looks like a hemlock. So there's a bit of pine. Not gonna burn softwood if I don't have to, because it burns a lot more dirty and not as long. It does burn hot though. so I got my fire all ready to go, and I've got a really interesting feature that I've never done before, and it's a fire reflector made out of ice. So there's my fire there, and I've walled up the ice to reflect the heat and smoke away. Well, reflect some of the heat back, but the wind's coming from that direction, so that's why it's there. Already had my coffee. Pup-in is in having a relax. She was driving me crazy. Oh my goodness. Stick throw, stick throw, stick throw. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that is really good. That's what I needed. Come here. Used it. Now this thing isn't technically supposed to be put on a fire. However, as you can see from the melted handle, it's been put on a fire in the black bottom. So what I'm going to do is cook off a couple of sausage. Those are hot Italian, I believe. And I got a lot of butter. I'm going to cook off a couple of those. And then I've got mushrooms and onions going with it. And some cheese to put on top of it after... Where's the main thing? Oh yeah, this stuff. Ben's Original Bistro Mexican rice, which is going to be pretty good. And then I'm going to put all that in a wrap, and I'm going to call it a burrito, but that's probably not the name. It's probably something else. God. So the ice just out beyond my campsite. Oh my! I guess I'm going to have to show you. Ooh, fogged it up. Right there, you can see it moving. That's what Tilly's on about. She doesn't realize that that's not a creature. You're the creature, hey? I did not bring a spatula because I am actually in the process of making a spatula. That says March 5th just because that's when it went in the bag. This is going to be like a spoon spatula. I don't know about this ball at the end, but it makes it a little bit longer because it is fairly short. Here's the fork that I made in comparison. So they're pretty small, but I think if this works out, it'll cover a spoon and spatula. I'm just letting it dry now. You can see all the tool marks. I personally like a sanded look, so I just let it dry and then I sand it down. I'm going to put some design on this handle like this fork has. Come on. So I'm going to put some caul rosing on this as well, but I just haven't. I'm going to let it dry out first and then do it. Okay, with supper really close to being done, I'm going to have my first shot of bourbon. Oh. Empty out the cup. Now I usually lengthen it with water when I'm out in the woods, but to be honest, I don't feel like it. I don't want to bother filtering water. I don't have anything boiled, so I'll just go straight. The other thing is I don't want to get up in the night to have to go pee from that tent. I'm not used to that. Cheers. Ooh, that's enough.
I thought probably brought too much of that, but let's put it on.
Yeah, I don't know how to do a burrito. I know you're supposed to close both ends, but I'm not going to do that. Bon appetit. Well, the verdict is that it's delicious. And I actually didn't put as much on this wrap as I thought I was going to, so, or as it looked. I may have to just eat more of the remnants left over. Although Tilly is really liking the rice bits. Throwing it in amongst her bowl. Yeah, was it good? Yeah, drooly face. Alright, because I'm a glutton, I just dolloped the sour cream into the mixture I have. And it is delicious. You eat with this fork. Not all of it though. So Tilly and I are bedded down. She is looking super tired. She's just right there. And it's only 8:30. I'm a little bit tired, but I can't say I'm ready for bed yet. But the fire kind of went out, and she kept woofing at everything with the ice shifting all night since we got here, and she woofed at it every time. So I think she needed to just get inside and settle down. So she's put her head down now. And I think we're both going to probably fall asleep pretty quick. We'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It's 6:44 and it did snow last night. We went to bed at just after 8. Upper. Yeah, having fun out there? I don't know how much that is. 2 centimeters at most. Most of it slipped off the tarp already. That was pretty good. We went to bed at 8. I'm up at 6:45 or so. And it is a beautiful morning. Let's see if I can show you. Camera lens is unfogged a bit. Beautiful. Maybe over there. There's the snow on the tarp and the tent. So that's not too bad. That pitch wasn't ideal. I thought it would have come completely off the whole thing. It did come off the other side. boil for a couple of minutes. What you doing, Pop? What you doing down there? You got a beard now. Look at your face. Oh wow, that sun is really coming out now. It's time to start shedding some layers and knocking stuff over. Got a collection of all my stuff, just sort of all within arm's reach, so I can knock it over. That's the way I do things. What is going on there? What is happening with you? Ooh. Arr. Did aliens invade you overnight? Look what's on your nose. A little human nose. That's how she was all day yesterday. Just a woofy at everything. Looks like she's decided to go back to that. I've decided that I'm not going to bother really making any food this morning. What I'm going to do, I have one stroop waffle, wherever it is. I'm just going to have that. And something that I forgot to eat last night. Oh, how? I guess it was full. Hawkins cheesies. Okay. A few thoughts from this trip so far. Camp chair when you're tenting is absolutely necessary. I've been sitting, and so when I put my legs up, I'm just sliding down off of whatever I'm on the snow and ice. Trying to find comfortable positions. Last night when Tilly and I were at the fire, she went to sleep and I was just constantly trying to shift around, get comfortable. Didn't go that well. So camp chair. I'd mean to buy one before if people watched. I broke my camp stool on my Boggy Lake. No, it wasn't Boggy Lake. It was for earlier. Ingram Wilderness area, I guess. On that solo trip, I broke that stool. I'm probably too heavy for it. I think it's probably only rated for like 175 pounds. I've got to get my own sleeping mat. Last night in the tent, I found either I should have put I put fir boughs under her side. I didn't put any under mine. And I did find that I got a little bit cool. Not cold though. It wasn't uncomfortable. It wasn't to the point that it was keeping me awake, but it just wasn't super comfortable. And that could be something to do with having a different bag as well. So when I get that new hammock gear bag, that one's meant for tents. Okay. Let's talk about tents. This is an MSR Elixir 3. I got it off Altitude Sports for just under $400 on a sale. That's a Canadian website and Canadian dollars. I'm pretty happy with it. That was the third time I've set it up, and I struggled a little bit with the poles because they kind of cross and they're connected. So I don't think it's difficult once you get used to it. For me, I still have to figure it out a little bit better, but I mean, I did it all by myself without any real assistance and any real know-how, so it went well. It's about 5.5 pounds, and you saw roughly how big the tent bag is. It's not tiny, but I think if Claire and Tilly and I were going places, the three of us, it would definitely reduce. Because when I go hammocking with her, I always take her little tent, and then I take some other stuff for her that I don't need to bring when I have the tent. And, you know, Claire could just bring a sleeping pad and a sleeping bag, and that would be all that she'd need to bring in her pack. So the other way, we were bringing 2 hammocks, two of everything, 2 to 3 of everything. I slept pretty good last night. I mean, the tent's not going to have anything to do with how someone sleeps, but because they're all just a flat sheet inside. I guess there was no catastrophic failures. We had that snow overnight. We did have a little bit of condensation build up on the inside of the tent. There was a few drops of water down by my feet, but that could have been from the boots that I'd brought. Actually, I'm pretty sure that was from the boots I brought in. So we never got wet. The condensation you could kind of feel on the bag, but it was between -3 and -5 last night. So that's not a 4-season tent. That's just considered a 3-season tent, which means spring, fall, and summer. So
It's not really designed for the colder temperatures, but it worked well. And my friend Johnny has the 2-person version, and that's all he ever uses. So you can make do. Yeah, so overall I'm pretty happy with it. I can see why people don't get in and out of the darn things a whole lot. Like with my hammock, I'm in and out of it. It's not a big deal. With a tent, we get up at 5 a.m. to go to the bathroom, and I get a cramp in my leg from contorting. And that could just be something that I have to get used to, but crawling in and out of it is not the easiest thing. I'm going to be 45 this year, and yeah, the hammock's definitely a lot easier platform to get in and out of. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been out. Claire's mom and dad, Ruth and Harry, were over with us for a little bit of a visit, so I didn't go out once while they were here. Not that I couldn't. I was more than welcome to go, but just would have, you know, hadn't seen them in a couple years. It's nice to maximize the time that you can. And hopefully camping will always be here. So, don't know what the plans are for this year for camping trips. I'm thinking I'd like to do a couple in April, maybe one more at the end of March. I'd like to go hike Cape Chignecto one more time before too many years pass and get it on film this time. But probably try to lighten my load. Not a 51-pound pack. I think I had 42 pounds the last time, and that was too much. I won't be taking an axe this year. I'll open up. I forgot to show you what Johnny got me for Christmas, and I don't think this is going to make the audio recordings for the video, but that's a kazoo. I don't really know how to use one. That's all I know. Alright, I think I got to start packing up some serious stuff now. It's just starting to melt the snow off the trees, and it's coming down like rain. It's beautiful. It's going to be about 8 degrees today, so I suppose it's better that we head for the car sooner than later. It's only got 4K to go, and most of it's on road, so I'm going to be putting those ice spikes on early this time, and probably stomp right along, I would assume.
Okay, everybody, that's pretty much it, all packed up. Not sure if I'm faster with a hammock or a tent, but I like how everything's all in one with that tent. Another fun thing with the tent is, like, once you get in there, it's your own little den, cocoon. Really enjoy that. With the hammock, it always feels like you're kind of open, you're kind of out in the elements, so I did enjoy quite a few aspects of it. So we're going to do the 4K walk home. I'm not sure how much filming I'll do, but if there's anything interesting, I'll definitely film it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more content. Maybe more tent, definitely more hammock.